stream. Just chilling right now, but trying to get tired. I'm waiting until 6 o'clock so I can go do my walk when the sun comes up. I'll do my half-hour walk and then come back at 6:30 and go to sleep. Unless I get tired, I'll just do it later. So I gotta run a bunch of errands tomorrow. I gotta go to the cycle cans. I gotta go to my mom's house. I gotta go wash my car. Things I gotta do. The usual. I wash my car at home. Give me something to do.
Here comes a daredevil.
Alright, I'm gonna try out Vigil. This is the last game I wanted to try. I was kind of looking forward to this game. This still was kind of underwhelming. I thought it was going to be a little better. Apparently it doesn't read XPS4. Move, healing. What's up, Nevin Darrow? This game is called Visual. It's a demo right now. It's got a ways to go. I think it's going to be at least a year before this game comes out. It feels alright. It needs some work. It looks really nice. Combat feels a little clunky though. I said the combat doesn't feel the most intuitive. It looks nice, but like games like Ori play a lot better. You gotta work on the controls. Controls feel a little off. Ramlethal? Oh, I like her. She looks amazing. I'm glad she got in the game. And I'm looking forward to the next character reveal in August. I don't think we're going to get many characters at this point, just because if the game's supposed to come out in like March, we're going to maybe have 15 characters at launch at most. That's all I'm predicting. That's cool, she's got different weapons. That's cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. I think you can block enemy attacks. window for dodging and stuff feels really off. What's up? What's up, you Bankster? Yeah, I didn't like the beta too much. Yeah, they need to work on the controls on this game. It doesn't feel right. No problem. No problem, Baxter. How you doing, man? Good to see you as always. Trying out this game's Vigil. It looks nice, but it needs work on the controls. This feels a little off. I mean, it's still really early. It just doesn't feel right. To me, it doesn't. There's a lot of delay, and rolling, blocking has a delay too. I see. Well, he's helping you out. Nothing wrong with that. God damn it. Just gotta confirm everything. So daggers have a sidestep, not a block. so you can't fall. Can't fall from great heights. What else is new with you, Max, or anything else new? Jump. Stinky helmet. Yeah, I hear you, man. Same old shit, you know? Nothing new, right? The usual. I was watching Bear stream earlier. Talked for a little bit, but he already logged off. He's doing okay though. Said he wants to start streaming out more, but he just hasn't been able to because he's been busy. Yeah, like I say, not much else new, dude. I'm starting my weekend today. Gonna run some errands tomorrow. building a couple computers for people, make a little extra money. Press up because up uses items. What's up, Ho-Ho? How you doing? What's up with you? What's going on with you? Oh, doing all right? Been okay. Just got off work not too long ago. Not much else. Just trying to get tired. If I stay up till 6, I'm gonna do my walk. If I don't, I'm just gonna do it when I wake up. Got errands to run tomorrow. Why did I do so much damage? I don't like the fact that you have to load everything single time. It gets kind of annoying. These controls, man. These controls need work. This is a really early demo, so yeah, these controls need work. Yeah, it does. I will say I don't like some of the controls though. They feel weird. They don't feel right. Combat feels kind of sluggish too. Feels like a clunkier. What's the word? Like a clunkier. What's that one game? Blasphemous. Feels like Blasphemous, but just clunkier. Like nothing, like the way things hit and stuff, it just feels like there's no impact. It's kind of weird. And like the buttons, some of the button choices don't feel right. Like item for circle does not feel right. You heal with circle. I'm like, shouldn't that be like a menu button? Or like a, you know, like a top button? And you have roll and that, but it's like, some things just don't feel right. So it's not very optimized. I notice there's some sluggishness. But again, it's one of those things. The game isn't finished. Like it stutters. This was supposed to be the best one out of the group, but there's another game I played called Inmost. That game was actually really interesting. The game also played pretty nice. It has some pretty interesting mechanics. And that other Gestalt game was kind of disappointing. I thought it was going to be a lot better. But if this is just like an early build of the game, I hope they improve it. It needs work.
Comes a daredevil!
Yeah, it's just like, for some reason it stutters. I don't know why. You see it. It's weird. And also circle is the menu button. Hitting circle, and then if you hit circle too many times, you heal. And I'm just like, ugh. Let's try this again. This time without the dying. I hope so, because it feels a little off. I say I like some of the concepts. Yeah, it needs more polish. Let's save here. Should I see? Combat. I noticed the hits are very light. They don't make a lot of impact. Oh, it is a Chinese game. Notice the text was in Chinese. So it is a Chinese developed game. Does feel like one. I like the daggers the most. The game looks really nice. It's got nice graphics. This looks really nice. Water looks really good. lot of games that look quite good. They don't play very good. I know a lot of games like that. You know what this game reminds me of? It's that one game, Vagrant. It plays just like this. It just, the combat just, it feels clunky. Like, it needs polish. The way things hit and stuff. It just doesn't feel, there's not a lot of oomph in anything that you hit. They need to fix the combat, and they need to fix the controls. Combat just feels really, like I said, there's not a lot of oomph in anything you do. The sound effects aren't very prominent, that's for sure. It's very light hits, nothing has any, like, bam, you know, like, when you hit stuff, it just, I don't know if I am actually hitting sometimes. It doesn't feel like it. It's so tingy. It's just me, though, from what I'm observing. Yeah, it feels like a more vast Vagrant. Like, Vagrant wasn't deep like this. I like how it just went completely through the floor. Like, what the fuck? Controls. That is not how you climb a ladder. That is not how you climb a ladder. That looks so lazy. Like, she just, it's like she's climbing the side of a wall. And she's going up a ladder. There's no vertical depth. That looks really bad. I don't like that. That looks really bad. Like, you need to draw an animation for that. It looks terrible. Yeah, I know. It's like she's like, how does I climb a ladder? I mean, I'm assuming they just haven't made an animation for it, but yeah, it looks really bad. How does I climb ladder? I've been climbing ladders wrong my entire life. You're doing it wrong. I'm doing it. Like this, I can see this game having potential, but they gotta make the. I think they need to make the combat a little bit more, got more pizzazz to it. And they need to fix the controls and make the sound effects sound more pronounced, because they feel like they have no emphasis at all. Like it feels really dull. It's so light. It's like you can barely hear it. Like the music overshadows everything. Civil War. Yeah, I saw the Resident Evil 8 trailer. It looks amazing. Resident Evil 8 looks dope. I think Resident Evil 8 is going to be really good. I like the change. They're dealing with more with supernatural. I guess there's going to be psychic stuff. So it looks really interesting. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I'm so man, Capcom been on a roll with Resident Evil games, man. We've got 3 Resident Evil games in the last 3 years. It's crazy. I've been on that shit. Now, Resident Evil 2, and then Resident Evil 3 a year later, and then Resident Evil 8 a year later. Like, damn, Capcom, you've been putting in some work. And I'm happy that they're, busting their ass. It's nice to see that. I'm glad they're not getting lazy. Ethan has no head. He's headless. Headless Ethan. Got no time for a head. He just unattaches it whenever he wants to. Kind of like how you cut your leg off in Resident Evil 7 and you can just put it back on with medicine. Because that's how real life works. Oh, they made a mod. That's hilarious. Well, it's a first-person game. It wasn't designed to have a facial model. I mean, I actually don't mind that Resident Evil 7 was actually in first-person view. It didn't feel bad at all. I know a lot of people were like, oh man, Resident Evil's only in third person. I was like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I really don't. It's fine. Resident Evil 7, I think, was a decent game. I liked it. It felt like its own thing. Didn't feel like too big of a departure from the normal Resident Evil. There's a lot of people that are just purists that don't want to see anything change. No, it's not the same. It sucks. It's not exactly the same. I'm like, so what if it's not exactly the same? Sometimes a change of pace is good. You know, as long as you don't tamper with the formula too much. I mean, sometimes you just go too far left and it just ruins the game. Because then it's not even the game anymore. But I think that sometimes it's nice to experiment with something a little different, just to give it a little different flavor, and it ends up being a pretty damn good game. You know, because you keep doing the same thing all the time, it gets stale after a while. That's with any game you play. If you just literally just rinse repeat the same exact thing every single time, it gets old. Any game you keep doing that, it gets old. I mean, I don't care what game it is. It's gonna get boring. Yeah, I could. Well, I usually provide feedback to games I really, really care about. Like, really like. Like, this game's alright. I mean, I don't... Like, this game has potential, but... I feel that... Like, I'm not digging it heavily. It's alright. Like, I honestly thought this game was going to be a lot better. Based on what I saw in the videos. I was like, oh man, this looks really good. And you play it and you're just like, it's okay. It's nothing to get excited over. Like I said, I will say the combat feels really just mediocre. It's nothing amazing. You know, it's one thing I will say about using this kind of art style, this like 3D look. I feel like it loses something compared to 2D. Like when you play a 2D version of these type of games, they just, I don't know, they just feel better, they play better, they sound better. But with these type of games, I don't know, it just feels more lifeless, I guess. You have good-looking visuals, but that's kind of all you focus on. You don't focus on anything else to make it really, like, stand out in an amazing way, you know? The ladder had to come in. Yes, that's the whole reason I don't like the game, is because of the ladder. That's totally the reason. It just, the world feels very, like I said, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like anything amazing. It doesn't feel like a game you really, like, oh my god, I want to know more about this game, you know? It doesn't really give me that impression. But it does, I will say it feels like a Chinese game. It really does. Like, it just, like I said, I played Vagrant, and it's giving me the same feeling as Vagrant. And Vagrant, I know my friend, one of my friends, Usaka, he liked Vagrant. I didn't really care for it very much. It just like Symphony, like for example, you play like what do you call it? Bloodstain. Bloodstain feels a lot better than this, and it's also 3D. But that has more personality. That has more. It just feels better. It just doesn't feel right. Oh, this game? No, there's no retail price release of it yet. My guess is going to be $20 or 30 at most. I can't see this being more than $30. But based on what I'm playing so far, if this was the final product, I wouldn't buy this game. I wouldn't. Be like, nah, I'm good. Like, I've played better games. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into a game, and you need to hit all those notes to make it really work. Like, again, you can make a game look pretty all you want, make it look fantastic, but if you have no soul, it's got no, like, everything needs to complement each other. You know, the gameplay needs to be really good. Oh, you can't go back to it. That sucks. You know, the gameplay needs to be good. The music needs to be epic. The sound effects need to be good. The story needs to be interesting. The game, you know, the visuals need to look good. You know, you need to hit it all. You need to hit it home. You can't just do one good thing and just let everything else suffer. And I think a lot of companies do that with a lot of games. They focus so much on the graphics. And that's all they focus on. They don't focus on anything else. Just visuals, you know, because visuals will sell. I'm like, well, for me, I'd rather the visuals take a step back if you can make the gameplay amazing, because gameplay goes a lot further than music, than graphics. Music is very important. I need good music in a game because it stimulates me to play. When you have a good soundtrack, I want to play. But when you make a mediocre soundtrack, that doesn't make me want to play. Trying to figure out where to go at this point. Yeah, the combat in this game, though, even though you have a lot of variety in weapons, you're just hitting one button. You're not really doing anything else. There's no variations. There's no ducking attack. There's no aerial combos. It's like, man, it's really basic. It reminds me of that one game. What was that, Monster something? It was that cute pixel art game. Looked amazing. Combat was fucking shit. Like, it was so basic and boring. And it made, you know, the game looks fantastic. It looks beautiful graphics. You know, pretty good soundtrack, and then it's just the gameplay just ruined it. And it's like, oh, that's such the biggest piece of shit, you know? Yeah, Final Fantasy 13's a beautiful looking game. It has no substance though. Gameplay is not very good. Like, why would you play it? Like, what does it offer? And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't offer shit to me. there's a lot of games I've played like that where it just, you know, I play it and I'm just not feeling it. You know, I just don't feel like, where's the heart? You know? You can tell when something's good when you play, when you're legitimately interested. But yeah, graphics to me are just not the primary focus. If you're focusing on graphics too much, you're missing, you know, what's the real meat and potatoes of a game. It's not the visuals. And she disappeared. Like, honestly, out of all the demos I played in the last couple of days, Inmost was the most interesting. Inmost actually had a neat visual style, it had pretty interesting puzzle solving, had some neat music, had vocal dialogue. I was like, damn, this game's, like, Inmost was really good. I was surprised how good it was. This game is nowhere near as good as Inmost. Inmost is much better. I said, this game just feels like it needs to go in the oven for another year and fixing all those problems. I mean, I'll check this game again now when it's a finished product. But as of now, it's like, it's alright. That's the only thing I really have to say about this game. It's alright. It's okay. I wouldn't focus playing on. I wouldn't go out of my way to play this game. Take a ton of damage when you jump. Don't jump from high, please. You take a ton of damage. Yeah, right now I just don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm just running in circles, trying to figure out where to go. This game has, like, I don't know if it's, like I said, I'm not supposed to go anywhere specific, but the direction in this game doesn't feel very good. Keep running in circles, trying to figure out what to do. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. There we go. That was the answer. That's the ticket. It. Another dead end. Another dead end. Where else to go? Starting to wonder if you just look at that shit, man. Look how much life you lose when you land, man. Jesus Christ. Just so much goddamn damage. Dead end everywhere. Alright. That again, I have to do this all over again. Yeah, I don't like the save system. It just puts you back at the last save. So you don't save constantly. You die. You just gotta start all over. I'm like, oh god, one of those systems. Yeah, like I said, this game needs work. Just doesn't feel very good. Again, it feels like a Chinese game. It's the typical Chinese game. It needs, like I said, it has, the visual style looks nice, but it has gameplay problems. It's just not something I would spend time on. Oh, damn booty. I see booty. Yeah, this game's kind of whatever. Yeah, it reminds me of this game. This one, the Vagrant. It looks exactly like it in terms of style. Who makes this game? Hold on. Look at the company. Sakura game. Because it looks like a Vanillaware game, just not as polished. Basically like this. It's a wannabe Vanillaware game. The Vanillaware games play a lot better. So OTK game, Sakura game. Who makes Vigil? Vigil is made by. Okay, it's somebody else. Class Heart game. I don't know who Class Heart Games is. It's one of the ones that made Neverith. They're the ones that made Neverith and Neverith. Yeah, no, it's a different company. Yeah, it does feel like the Vagrant though, just not as a little bit more. There's more to do. It feels like the polish is nowhere near as good as it should be. No, like the Vagrant is more mediocre. Like it's very straightforward. The combo system in Vagrant's a little bit more deep, but it's more linear. But it feels clunky the same as Vigil does. Vigil and Vagrant both feel clunky. They just don't feel like they have a lot of oomph or, like I said, it's hard to describe. Like when you're hitting stuff, nothing feels like it has any impact. There's no nothing feels like you have there's no confliction. Like when you hit something, there's no weight to it at all. It just you just go right through the enemy and it just feels so unpronounced and it doesn't feel right. Like I'm not saying it has to be like Dark Souls where you like whiff like a motherfucker and then you gotta hit somebody like that. No, I mean it just when you make contact with something, it feels like you're just running, you're just hitting air. Yeah, like Vanillaware games look amazing and they play good too. That's the thing. They play good and they look good. These feel more like wannabe Vanillaware games. Like they're nowhere near Vanillaware's quality, but they need it to be better. You know what I mean? Like this game has potential, but it just feels like again things just don't have a lot of emphasis on hits, emphasis on sound effects, emphasis on like a lot of the sound just feels really dull. Lacks it just lacks. It doesn't it's just there and you can barely hear it, and I don't like that. Like it's definitely my style of game, like Metroidvania, but it just doesn't have the appeal. Like I said, like when it comes to like 2D games, like 2D games just feel better. Like I guess because they can focus more on the sound design, because graphically, yeah, they're 2D animations, but I don't know. It just feels like when something hits in 2D, it just feels better. But it's probably by design. You can make a 3D game sound good, but I just feel like these kind of games where there's like a cheaper budget, they don't put a lot of emphasis on that. They just again they put all the work into the graphics. Like, oh man, we're gonna make this awesome looking game. I was like, yeah, it looks good, but doesn't sound very good. Doesn't play very good. And then a lot of times that's what kills the game. I mean, you can tell when I like something because I'll actually go through the whole game. Like for example, like Song of Horror. Song of Horror was a good game. I mean, the fact that I beat it shows you that I like it. I do. I really enjoyed that game. It's hard as shit, but I enjoyed the game. But yeah, you can tell like what games I'll put time into that I actually enjoy. Song of Horror, I put 28 hours in. You could tell I was enjoying it because I kept coming back to it. I wanted to beat it. Reciteer was fun. I liked Reciteer. Reciteer was really good. That game was addicting. It wasn't the combat. The combat I didn't give a shit about. It was the money, the running the shop. That shit was so addictive. Like I really enjoyed that part of the game. Like holy crap, I did that for hours and I wasn't bored. But when I played the combat though, it was like, it's just there. It doesn't add a lot to the game. The game, where the game shines is when you're in the shop. That's when the game really flies, and you're just having a blast playing it. This game had the same problem too. Gestalt. This has the same problem. This is 2D too. Like it looks beautiful, but you play the game and it doesn't feel all that great. It doesn't. It needs work. Like it looks great. Like you look at it and you're like, damn, this game has nice animation, and then you play it and the sound and that just don't sound very good. Like again, it almost has the same problem as visual. Like this game, I was having the same. I felt the same about this game as I did visual. This just feels a little better because it's 2D. But I don't know. Just I feel like there's just certain things. There's certain games like when you play Shantae for example. Like Shantae is not only visually appealing, it's really snappy. it feels good to play. Like you move, you hit, use your abilities. It feels really good, and the music's intense. The hits are very pronounced. The effects are really nice. It's like you feel the energy with this game, like compared to those. Like this feels amazing when you play it. It's like, damn, I just like the whole package. Like it's awesome in so many ways. Cyberpunk, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Right now, the games I'm looking forward to. Let me see. Show you. There's a couple games coming out next. I think next month, one big game's coming out that I want to play. Let me look. Let's see. There was something coming out next month. I know I have it on my wish list. Let me check. I'm trying to find it. What is coming out next month? I know. I think August comes out August. Let me look. I'm trying to find it. We'll find it. Give me a second. Mm, are you? Now I put you on my favorite list. So just trying to find it. Mm, there are. Oh yeah, this comes out in November. Chris Tales is really good. This game's pretty amazing. I enjoyed the demo a lot. Let's see. Where are you? Oh, yeah, this one's coming out later this year. This looks really good. Man, what game was it? Fuck. I'm trying to find it. Amnesia comes out this year. I gotta definitely gotta play this because I love Amnesia. Um, okay, where is it? Oh yeah, Samurai Jack. That comes out. That comes out. This game I think I'm gonna enjoy. Yeah, this comes summer. So I think this is July or something. I mean, playing this. That's another game. I mean, that was it. Just Samurai Jack. Let me look. Yeah, demo. I want to play this. It's coming out later this year. This looks interesting. Let's see. I'll play House of Da Vinci 2 because I did the first one's alright, but I'm hoping they fixed a lot of things in Da Vinci 1. In this one. Waiting for it to go on sale. Let's see. And it must have been just Samurai Jack 2. Oh yeah, Remothered. I want to play this. Remothered Broken Porcelain. I like the first one. The first one was pretty neat. This one they said is a lot more expanded with the combat, I guess, and the first one was a pretty interesting game. A little frustrating in some parts, but it was a pretty good game. I did enjoy the first one. I'm hoping the second one's even better. It's supposed to be basically like Clock Tower. Yeah, but yeah, those. So this one and Samurai Jack. And then couple of my games are getting updated this month, which are the Toho game and the Record of Lodoss War game. As far as anything else, Freedom Planet 2 is supposed to come out this year, but there's no release date yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed back till next year because it's been in development for a long ass time. Forsaken Castles like indefinitely delayed because of real life issues. So I don't know when this is gonna get finished. I do want to play this too. This game's fun. Yeah, as far as like anything else, I'm trying to think anything else that's coming out major. I mean, there was some stuff at the game show that was announced that I was. Oh yeah, Tokyo Wire. That game looks sick. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Tokyo Wire, I was like, "Whoa, that game looks neat." I'm sure you saw that game, right? Yeah, this game. Oops, that's not it. Ghostwire. Ghostwire. Sorry, wrong title. Ghostwire. Yeah, I don't think it's on the Steam store yet. It's not on Steam yet. Ghostwire. My apologies. Ghostwire looks really fucking good. I was like, whoa, this looks neato. Like, I think I'm gonna like this. Basically, like, it's like, um, it's like Fatal Frame meets like Metal Gear Revengeance. It's like with ghosts and shit. It looks really sick. I was like, okay, this looks like it can be fun. Like I think this is gonna be one of the biggest games I'm looking forward to. It's like a mainstream title that comes out next year. Like this one and this when I was looking at all the video game announcements for PS5 and Xbox, that one and RE8 caught my attention the most. Yeah, Ghostwire is definitely up my alley. It's got the gameplay I like, and it's scary, and it involves like Japanese like folklore, you know, with ghosts and shit. I was like, oh my god, this looks fucking neat. It really does. So, and it's from Tango GameWorks, so you know it's gonna play good. Looks good and it plays good. Yeah, Ghostwire. You never saw it? You didn't see this? Oh, this was last year. Yeah. Suppose you haven't seen this. You can watch it here. I'll show it to you. That ghost trick now. This is what they showed for PS5. It's coming to PC too.
You see things others can't.
I love that. I love the world. The world looks great.
Hear threats others don't.
Looks scary as shit.
Fight when others won't. It's up to you to save Tokyo.
The combat looks sick, dude. Dude, you're like fighting ghosts, man. It's fucking sick. He's no longer scary. I just like the world. The world looks sick. Like I said, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm sold on that gameplay. That got me excited. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, that looked fun. It really looked fun, and it looked like it had a lot of personality. Like the world feels so interesting and alive. Like you're like, oh man, this looks sick. The music's gonna be good. The gameplay looks like it's really diverse. Lots of shit you can do. Lots of different enemies. And then it probably has an exploration system. Like imagine Fatal Frame with like Yakuza with like um Metal Gear Revengeance. I'm like, that sounds fucking sick. Like that sounds really sick. Yeah, that trailer definitely caught my attention in a good way. So Spider Man also looks good. I mean, the first Spider Man game's great too, especially if you love Spider Man. It's a Marvel fanboy's wet dream of a game. I should play that game too. I never beat Spider Man on PS4. I know it's a good game. Basically, like Batman with Spider Man. I know the new one's probably gonna be really good too. But yeah, Ghostwire comes to PC, and I'm probably gonna have to upgrade my computer for that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really graphics demanding. But my graphics card isn't gonna be able to handle that game. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, your movement options in that game are so much better than Batman because you can just, you can web shot off buildings, go wherever the fuck you want. You cover ground so much quicker in Spider Man. Batman's so much slower. So yeah, I agree with that. I feel the traversing is so much better than um than Batman. I mean, flying around and hook shotting and stuff is cool, but man, when you can web swing and climb up walls and shit at really fast speeds, it's just like damn, it just makes the game so much better. I tell you, man, like games, I feel like you pacing is really important. Like you make a game too slow, it just you're kind of just like, okay, what's next? It's kind of almost like I get it. Everything feels so. I like snappy games. I like snappy fast. I like games that feel really just again you move quick, your reactions are fast, your moves come out nice. They feel really on the on. Everything feels on command. You just feel like you can just do whatever you want. That's the kind of gameplay I like. I like games that move like that. But I feel like some of these games I play, they just move like slow, like a snail, and you're just like, man, this game is so fucking slow, like compared to like other games, and it just kind of ruins the pacing of the game, the experience. Like you just kind of more like you feel like it's more of a matter of get on with it than it feels like, oh, what's going to happen next. That's how I feel with a lot of games that are really slow, where it just doesn't feel very involving. You just feel like you're just trying to fight your boredom because of how slow it is. A lot of games sadly do that. They just feel like they're just really slow, for no fucking reason. They don't need to be that slow. So that's probably why I like faster games and like games that let you do anything and feel really good to play is just because they just feel better. They just play better. It's like going from like action RPG. It's like going from there's a good example of like action RPG. Going from Neptunia. Going from Hyperdimension Neptunia, and then you play Ease. It's like what, it's like it's such a leaps and bounds difference in gameplay that you're just like, holy shit. Like, why am I playing this crap game when I could be playing this awesome game? You know? That's what it feels like. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of games I feel that, like, I notice most of the games I like they're fairly fast. I don't play a lot of slow games. But also, there's some fast games I don't like because they just feel bad. So it's a combination, I guess. Like, overall, I like fast games. I don't like slow games. I don't like overly slow. Just slow just bores me. Song of Horror, I know that's kind of slow paced, but that game actually works for me. You can't really do a fast paced horror game. That just doesn't work because you need that suspense factor. So obviously, slower pacing works better for those games. But when I'm talking like action games or platformer games, man, I need that speed. I need that responsiveness. It's important to me. Like I said, you can tell by the games I play. Like if you look at my profile history, like of just games that I play, and you can see which games, like you can tell what I like. Like Bulletstorm's really snappy. E8 is super snappy. Shantae is snappy. Onirism is snappy. Um, yeah, there's that shitty game. Wonder Boy's terrible. This game's so boring. Um, let's see. Ludomin I would have played if it wasn't so overly easy. It has a lot of charm, but it's just way too fucking easy. It's not. It's meant for kiddies. You can tell a lot about man from his Steam list. Oh, you can tell just because of the games I play, like what I like, my tastes. I mean, I think I have pretty unique tastes. Like, I mean, you don't see me play stuff that's like very stereotypical. Like, if you look at my top list, you look at the games. You're like, most people won't even know most of these games because most gamers don't know these games. The only ones that you'll know on this top list is Tekken. That's probably the only one. And people are like, oh man, you play Tekken? I'm like, yeah, Tekken's good. But if you look at the other ones, people are like, what the fuck are all these? Like, I don't know what any of these are. Most people, Doom. I said most out of all this list, like it's mainstream, is Tekken 7, Doom, RE2. I mean, what else is there? That's Final Fantasy, more Resident Evil, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, more Tomb Raider, more Resident Evil, Evil Within. That kind of fell off the map. Wasn't a big, not a big thing anymore. Yeah, just Team Fortress 2, South Park, Sonic Mania, Devil May Cry 5. Not a lot of mainstream stuff. You look at my list, it's not a lot of mainstream. Very few. Cuphead. Yeah, I mean, my list is very scarce with mainstream games. Very scarce. I'm surprised you never played Tekken. Yeah, when Tekken 7 came out, that shit was lit, man. I loved Tekken 7 when it first came out. Man, I was playing that shit for like 2 months straight. I was getting really into that game. It was so much fun, you know. But now I don't care about it anymore. It's getting kind of old. See, like a lot of times, like if a game is good, I need something to explore. That's the thing. I need something I need something to, you know, delve deep into. I feel like a good game will provide that because, but you also want a lot of mystery in the game because it's you want to be able to crack the puzzle when you're playing a game and your brain is just taking so much in. It's so stimulated by what you're doing, but then you're constantly going like, there's so much what ifs in your head. What if I do this? Like, what if, oh shit, you could, oh shit. That's the kind of stuff that I like. Like, holy crap, with fighting games, when I can experiment like that and just be so creative with how I do things, like, oh my god, it's like the biggest high I get from that. So I play Guilty Gear so much because I have so much creative expression, and I love that. It gives it again, like I said, it puts me on a high. I get really excited, and that's important to me. But yeah, a fighting game, once the fighting game kind of loses that, where it just becomes muscle memory and it's just do one thing, it gets boring because you're just basically playing to win at that point. You're not really playing because you it's not how you win. It's more of just winning. And just winning to me is not enough in fighting games. I get no satisfaction if I just win. I mean, to me, winning it's just not the most important thing to me. It's not. It's one of the least and most. It's the. It's a. I mean, everybody likes to win. Don't get me wrong, but it to me, it's more how I win. It's doing something really cool where you're like, oh man, that looks sick. What you just did, like that looks dope. Like people, like people, you get the energy from that. You feel that energy when that creativity gets shown, and you see something that you only do that nobody else does. I mean, that's cool. That's really awesome. That's why some of the older fighting games are better than the newer ones because you have that ability to be creative. Whereas newer fighting games, you don't have that. It's pretty much you can do only this and this is all you're gonna do. And that gets boring because everybody starts playing the same. You have to have, I think, you have to have a large unknown to explore. Yeah, that's what Grand Blue felt like. I felt like the optimization in that game got found out so quick. That's why the game's dying already. Because everybody knows the shit already. It's nothing new. It's shallow. It's not interesting. It's not fun. It's boring. Like I said, it's good for people that it's a game that's good for people that don't play fighting games. That's all it's good for. Yeah, I know. They have been. No, that's true, ho. Like we don't even gotta deny that. They just take away options from you because they it's too complicated. They don't want you having the flexibility to do whatever the fuck you want. See, I want that. I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want. Within reason, of course. I mean, I don't want it to be too crazy. Because then if you make no rules, then it just gets stupid. But if I had a choice between stupid and boring, I'd rather take stupid. Stupid at least can be fun. Boring can't be fun. You can't make a shallow, boring game fun. You can make a stupid game that's just retarded, ridiculous, hilariously fun. And then you guarantee you won't have any issues with being creative because you'll have lots to work with. So in that regard, yeah, I'd rather have a game be busted than a game be shallow and boring. Yeah, but most fighting games now are like that. They're just simple. You can't, there's not a lot of options. There's just, they want you on a set path with each character, or they make every character play so similarly that you can just basically use pattern, use choice one with every character. It works. So it's like, okay, well, that's kind of boring. Oh yeah, I agree. Like, there's some things like when I played the beta, I can see the potential. That's the thing. I can see the potential if it's driven the right way. It just in that current state when I played Guilty Gear Strive, that was not the right way to do it. but I can see that there's more than meets the eye here. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I can tell you about the Roman cancel system, that shit's fucking gonna be lit. Because the way it works in that game, because it has different properties, especially if you can slow down time. I think the slow down time feature is gonna be nuts with combos. Because if you can potentially slow down time to alter how hits to alter how gravity works, you can imagine like what kind of combos you can do with that kind of mechanic. I'd be like, oh man, you could do this, knock up, do this, hit them, knock them up, slow down time, do one, two, three, four. Like, because I could see that shit where you're like, whoa, that looks deep, you know? Like, that's going to be some unreal shit if that's what happens. Because that's the direction I can see it. Like I said, I can tell there's something special here. It's just I don't want them to make it where, oh well, we didn't execute it well and it just became the shallow, boring game and nobody needs to use any of these mechanics because there's no reason to. Then you have a problem because now the game's just gonna fail. But if they do it right, which I'm hoping they do, I can see something great. That's the thing. I can see it. I really can. My brain is like working. Like when I was watching myself play and watching videos, like I can see something here. It's not. I'm not quite sure, but I can see a hidden potential, and that's where my I get excited because I want to crack the code. And then when you crack the code, it just opens a whole new world of gameplay, and you're like, oh shit, this looks amazing. Like holy fuck, you're one of those people that actually figured it out. See, I don't necessarily want Strive to be like Guilty Gear Xrd because I mean Guilty Gear Xrd's a great game. I'm not even denying it. It's a fantastic fighting game. But it's nice to have a change of pace once in a while, just to do something different. I actually like the combo system with how things bounce, like the way you get bounced on the floor. That I actually think that's a neat combo system. It's different. So I was like, oh, that's actually kind of neat because each move, each hit has a different hit property. So some move might make you spin, some might make you pop you up, some might slam you down and bounce you off the floor. Like I like that kind of shit. It reminds me of Tekken. Because Tekken has moves like that. You have bound moves, and you have wall splat moves, and you have wall bounce moves. Like that's cool. That kind of shit is awesome. Like I like that stuff. But yeah, I agree. I don't want it to where it's just a dumb gimmick that nobody cares about, and it's ultimately just become Street Fighter, which is like fierce, fierce Hadouken, fierce, fierce super. That's generally what it's going to come down to, and that's going to get boring because there's nothing interesting about that. Like so, you really that's why I didn't agree with them taking away mechanics. Like I didn't like the fact that they took away instant blocking has no use. It doesn't negate chip. It doesn't give you frame advantage. I think that's stupid. They need to reinstate that. I don't like the fact that everything is air blockable. That makes a lot of moves pointless because you can just look anti air. Well, I can just block it in the air. I don't have to worry about anything. Why use shield? Again, there needs to be some sort of. You need to give the special moves, the interesting, unique mechanics, some appeal to them to why to use them. Because the way shield blocking is now, it feels pointless. Other than just to negate chip damage, there's no other reason to use it. Like if it had like a special property in it that like you can actually you know lessen frame recovery, or you can actually use it to repel or something. That would be interesting. Like, okay, that actually makes you have to actually use the tools. But they don't think people want that because it's too complicated. It's too much to take in, it's too much to execute. Like people don't want to sit down and actually go, oh, I don't want to do all that. I just want to beat you. And I think that's the message that fighting game developers get from players that, oh, they just want to win. So let's just give them the win as easy as possible because that's all people care about. And that's completely wrong. That is the biggest. That's the wrongest way you can think. That is not what we want. Well, that's not what real players want. You're going to get those potato people that's what they want because that's all they care about is winning. They're like, oh, it's too hard. I just want to win. When it's like that, then yeah, you're going to appeal to that minority. I don't think the majority's like that. I think the majority actually wants something fun. But actually, fun is subjective too, because deep level gameplay is not fun to some people, where it is to me. But yeah, I think the problem is it takes too much effort to implement a system that takes that much depth. It's way too much work, and that's why people don't make games like that anymore because they rather make something simple that's very uniform, that's very by the book, because it's easy to understand. Even one of my friends, he tells me he likes games like that. He doesn't like complicated fighters because it's too much to understand. It doesn't make sense. So you need to dumb it down so it makes sense. It's logical. Like, and logical is Street Fighter. People know Street Fighter because that's the standard. So everybody thinks that's the logical way to play a fighting game. So if it plays like Street Fighter, that makes sense. And to me, it's like, well, I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that level of gameplay. To me, that's like we're going back to baby steps. I don't want baby steps. I'm tired of baby steps. I grew out of baby steps. I want the next level. Like one of my friends had a conversation about PS5, and we're talking about how it looks cool, but it's nothing next level. And he even said the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I want something more. I want." And it's funny. He said those same words, and I was like, "Man, I said that years ago. I've been saying that years ago. I want something more. I want something next. Again, I want the future. I want next level shit." And a lot of games are not next level. They feel like yesteryear. We've been there. We've done that. It's the same old story. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the same old, you know, pancakes and syrup or eggs and bacon. Like I'm tired of that. I've seen that over and over again. It's nothing interesting. We've been there how many times? You know, it's all right. Yeah, the PS5, like I said, I mean, hardware wise, it's pretty remarkable. Like I'm not the what's inside the internals is next gen shit. Like in terms of computer hardware, it's amazing what you're getting. But as far as the games themselves, they don't look anything next gen. Like it doesn't look like they just look a little shinier. That's it. It's a little bit shinier with the same old games. Again, it just we need something more. Again, we need new ideas. We need something. I like complex. I like deep. I like stuff that's innovative. I like stuff that's interesting. You know, I don't need this again the rinse repeat of the same thing like we always do. Like even as much as I love Metroidvania, we're getting way too many carbon copies. Look how many Metroidvanias we have. Like it's ridiculous how many people copy that formula, and a lot of them start to feel the same. They don't feel like there's good ones like oh man that's a good Metroidvania, but then you see a lot of other mediocre ones. It's just yeah I've seen this before. It's nothing new. It doesn't try to be anything different. It just copies the same old playbook that you've seen a million times, and it gets that's boring. Sorry to say that, but it gets boring. That's why I like, Rabby Ribby, for example, why I love it so much is because I felt it was next level. Like, you don't see games, platformer games that are bullet hells. I mean, that's a hybrid you just don't see. So it had, to me, it did something that was unique because no other game tried to do something like this. It was like, oh man, because people obviously play these type of games. The majority would get so scared of it because it's so fucking intimidating because there's so much shit on the screen. And then, bullet hell fans are like, oh my god, this is a wet dream. I couldn't believe something like this exists and it works so well. So this to me felt like next level, where it's just like, oh man, we need more games like this. We need something pushing the envelope. Graphically, obviously, it doesn't push the envelope, but gameplay it pushes the envelope. And also, it's hard in a good way because a lot of games out there are either too easy, which is a lot of them, or they're hard in a bad way. Like there's artificial or just what I call like boring hard. Like for example, oh, here's hard mode. We're just gonna make everything give you a fourth of the normal EXP, so fights take 4 times longer. That's boring hard. That does not make the game more fun. Especially when the combat itself isn't even that fun to begin with. You're just making it feel artificially harder. A perfect example of that was, sorry to say, as much as I like adore the universe, I can't stand this game's hard mode. Like Ni no Kuni 2, like it's a beautifully crafted game. Like it's gorgeous. It's got so much charm. The characters, the voice acting, the music. But God, the difficulty is the worst. It's so shallow. It's so easy. And then they put in this, oh man, here comes the hard mode DLC. It's fucking garbage. Like the hard mode DLC is absolute horse shit in this game. I didn't even want to try it. I saw the videos of it, and it's what I said. Everything is just takes 5 to 10 times longer to kill. It's not like they're hard to kill anyway. They're not difficult to fight because they're dumb. They just take a lot of hits. So again, it's like you got to make the combat more interesting. Because when you make it not interesting and you make it easy, that's just a lazy way of introducing difficulty. Again, a lot of games do that, like where they change they basically just change a numeric value in the code and go, okay, it's a brand new difficulty. That's not enough to me. See, what I want to see, which Rabby Ribby does, and some other games do, is when you change difficulty, it actually changes patterns. The patterns evolve. You have to. Not only does the game speed increase, which I think is also a factor because it tests your reactions, it also changes how the patterns come out. So you're a pattern. Oh, I know I can just dodge it. Oh shit, you can't do it in this mode. You got to figure out completely how to dodge that differently now, because the way it hits, it really makes you have to play the game different each time on a different difficulty. I think that's a good thing. It gives it good replay value, especially when the game's fun to begin with. Like I played this game on normal, and I was like, "Damn, this is so much fun." I played it on hard. Oh man, it's even better. Played it on the highest difficulty. Oh my god, it's even better. Like the experience kept improving. Like I was enjoying the game. It didn't. The fact that I played it 5 times through and I wasn't bored is just a testament of how doing difficulty right is important. Where again, a lot of game developers just do it lazy because it's the easiest way to do it. See, I like it when you play a game and oh, here's hard mode. We changed the layout of all the levels. Enemies have new attacks. Stuff like that. It's like, oh, because now you have to learn something different because the game doesn't play the same now. I mean, it plays familiar, but it's different, and that's what you need. I think that enhances the experience. It takes more effort to make, but I think it's worth it. I'd rather spend a little extra time. Like if I was a developer and I was making a hard mode, I would spend a lot of time tweaking the game to be a hard mode experience where it's like, oh damn, like this feels great on hard mode. Like it feels really, really good. But then a lot of developers don't do that. They're just the most lazy. Again, flip the switch. Okay, that's good enough. We're done. Clock out. Shift's over. That's what we get. And majority of games are like that. And it's not interesting. Even sad to say, as much as I love Shantae, it's a game again, tons of charm. I not this one. Sorry. Fucking Half-Genie Hero does the same shit. Like, it's a fun game. It's got lots of charm. Plays fucking like a dream. But you play hard mode, it is exactly what I said. It is just you just take twice as much damage and everything takes twice as long to kill. The speed I like. I like the fact that it's faster, but that's all they change. The speed's the best part. The other two factors, boring. It doesn't add anything to the gameplay. Like, oh boy, we're just taking twice as long on a boss now. That's already easy to begin with. So it doesn't make it even remotely more interesting to beat. So I beat this game like 3 times on all the difficulties. And yeah, it didn't feel any better playing it on hard. It felt the same. So that's why I wish they would have made a proper hard mode instead of some half-ass lazy hard mode. Which they did. I'm hoping Seven Sirens gets a real hard mode. Like an actual hard mode, not just a half-ass hard mode. Because that's going to be disappointing if that's the case. Just wish developers would put a little more thought into that. You got to do more than the bare minimum. And I feel like a lot of developers just, they do what makes the most money with the least amount of effort. And it shows. It shows in a game. I mean, especially if you're very passionate about video games and you have a wide knowledge of video games. You can tell when someone knows what they're talking about compared to somebody that just plays games casually, that doesn't know any better. They play Half-Genie Hero, they play, and it's their first platform, and they play, oh my god, this game's amazing. In their eyes, it is. And then I play it, I'm like, it's good. It's not great. It's good, though. Like, I don't regret playing it. But would I play it again? Probably not. But that's the feeling I get. Like, this is still the pinnacle of the series, this game. Pirate's Curse is #1 in the Shantae universe. This game is the most evolved. And then the Half-Genie Hero just felt like 2 steps backwards compared to this game. Yeah, I think it's hard to achieve that perfect balance, like of just good gameplay, fun factor, challenge, just a complete package, just hitting all the right notes. It's really hard to do that. It's extremely difficult. But man, when you do, you got something special. And it sucks when a lot of games just can't do it. I mean, I guess I'm expecting too much. Like all the games I like are like the diamonds in the rough. You're only gonna find once in the blue moon, and that's kind of. I need to realize that's my level of expectation. I need to have, and not be so critical about everybody meeting that goal. Because not everybody is capable of making something that great. But at the same time, it also. Oh, I mean, Half-Genie Hero, from a development standpoint, like for what they put into what you paid, is amazing. Because it definitely put Mighty Number 9 to shame. Mighty Number 9 made like 4 times the amount of money and wasn't anywhere near Half-Genie Hero's polish. Not even close. So for what you paid on that game is amazing. Like, okay, another thing, Skullgirls. Skullgirls only made like what, 600 something thousand on the Kickstarter for Indiegogo. Oh, 700,000. I think it made 700,000. That game is phenomenal for a $700,000 game. Like, holy shit, the level of love put into that game, just, visually, the music, the gameplay, like, it's like, damn. Like, I cannot argue. Shit, you gave Capcom $700,000 to make a Street Fighter game, it's gonna look like shit. I mean, we already saw that with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That had a budget, I think, of less than 300,000, and it shows. It shows. But that's a AAA company. They have no excuse. Whereas you have Shantae, Way Forward, a small ass company, pulling the magic they do for how little they pay. Like, you can see that company's fueled by passion. They put a lot of love into their games. The only negative I have with Way Forward is their games are too easy. That's the only thing I don't like about them. But everything else, they hit out of the park. Like the visuals, the music, the gameplay, it's fucking good shit. They feel like the new Capcom. That's what, honestly, to me, Way Forward is Capcom in 2020. That's who Way Forward is. The only difference, again, if they can work on the difficulty, make their games a little bit more challenging. Because I feel like they just make the games so kid-friendly that they don't target the older gamers as much. That's another reason why I like difficulty selection in games, because it lets you play it how you want to. You have the choice. If you want to make it harder, you can. And to some people, that's important, like me. Like, it's like Ease 9 is a perfect example, or Ease 8. Ease 8 has 5 difficulties. You have easy, normal, hard, nightmare, and inferno. For people that don't play video games or just terrible at video games, play easy. Play normal. You'll enjoy the game. It won't stress you out, but you're going to have a blast. But for somebody who wants a challenge or actually wants to push themselves more, you play the harder difficulties, and that fulfills my niche. Like, even when I played Ease 8 the first time, I played on hard. I didn't play on normal. Hard felt right. Hard felt a lot better than normal. I was like, oh man, hard's a lot better. Still a little too easy, but Nightmare was, I think, a little bit too much of an extreme. Whereas, like, I need something in between and be just right, like, for me. But, I was fine with that, but at least you have choices. That's another thing you need to give. You need to give the consumer choices. We like choices. We like to have the option to play the game in different ways. Instead of just one set way. Because some people's standards are higher than others. So I think you should be mindful when you make a game. If you really want it to appeal to everybody, you should give people choices. So that's why I think difficulty in like RPGs, difficulties and platformers, that's a good feature to have. Especially if the difficulty is done right. It enhances the game. And it doesn't make you feel like you're forced to play it a certain way. Like, because again, there's some people that aren't good at video games, and that's fine. You could be absolute crap at video games, and there's nothing wrong with that. You still can love video games and be bad at them. But don't push people away from playing your game because you make it so fucking hard that only like the top 1% can even play it. I don't think that's good either, because then you just start isolating people. You start becoming like, a pompous asshole, like Riot Games. They're a perfect example of just, think their shit don't stink and they're better than everybody else. Yeah, if you want, like, that's one thing I hated about Skullgirls. Skullgirls, high level play created such a toxic community where Mike Z, who's the creator of Skullgirls, he's a jerk. He's really rude. He's really arrogant. He puts people. He's very condescending towards people. He basically, if you don't play on the tournament level, he thinks you're an idiot. And it's like, well, why would I want to play a person's game like that when you're just appealing to the elitists? Basically, that's all he cares about is the elite 1%. It's like, oh, it must be fun having only like 2,000 people play your game. Only that many. That's what's holding this game afloat, even if that. That's your whole community is right there. It's just those 1,000 or 2,000 people you have playing your game. Like, yeah, it must be real fun just being all nice and alone. So I can see the other end of this coin where, yeah, you push people that just want to play casually, and they should have that choice. But yeah, I feel like when you force it one way or another, it's not good either. You know, like I know it's kind of weird saying that with Guilty Gear Strive. I understand why they're dumbing it down because they want to appeal to more people. I understand you want to do that because to generate more money because it's a business. We have to understand they're in this industry to make money, not to make you feel good. So, but they're trying to compromise where okay, we're trying to make it deep, but we're also trying to make it accessible. But then I think there's a point where you make it so easy it's just beyond lazy. Where it's like, okay, are we even trying now? I mean, I'm sorry, but if you as a fighting game player cannot comprehend how to do motions or just how to do basic functions, oh, I don't know how to block. It's like, dude, you shouldn't be playing fighting games. I'm sorry, you just shouldn't be. We're not going to dumb down the game that much because you don't understand basic concepts. How to block, how to throw, how to combo, how to, shield block. Again, simple things. How to block an overhead, how to block a sweep. But there's people that legitimately think that's too hard. And I'm just like, okay, I can't. There's a degree where I can't sympathize with you. Because you're just to the point where it's like, wow, are you even trying to think? I don't need to appease those kind of people. Because the fact that you don't even want to try, that's terrible. And you're making everybody else suffer because of it because you're so lazy. You don't want to put forth any effort to learn or do anything. Hey, they have games like that for you. There's tons of games. It's not like this is the only fighting game that exists in the world. Guilty Gear is there's tons of fighting games that can pertain to that mentality. Go play those. Don't infect your mindset, your infectious mindset into a game that wants to be something more. You know, that's what I feel like because they're trying to cater to that audience, and as a result, the fans, the harder core players, uh, we get screwed. We're the ones that suffer. We get a mediocre ass game as a result, and it sucks. And it's like, oh man, I wish this game was greater than that. Nope, it's not. It's fucking shit. So yeah, I would like to see a little bit more evolution. That's for damn sure. We need more evolution in games. I think games have been kind of stale lately, if you think about it. We haven't gotten that many groundbreaking games. Again, next level shit. It's just mostly the same. That's why I guess they call it like the dark age of video games. Because there's so much of it, and there's just so much more of the same. So it's hard to get excited about stuff. Look at the movie industry. Movie industry is the same way. It's mostly the same shit. You've seen it before. Look how many fucking re-release rehashes we get of the same goddamn formula or just same IP over and over and over. Like how many goddamn remakes do we have to have of one franchise? Because we can't think of anything else. Or we don't want to try anything different. Like, oh my god, like the biggest shamer, in my opinion, on the market right now. And as much as I love Disney classic, I can't stand the Disney live action remakes. They're fucking garbage. They completely undermine the source material, being a shameless cash grab. It's like, oh look at Aladdin. Yeah, live action Aladdin. Holy crap, just sucked the charm all out of it. Sucked the charm out of that movie. Aladdin is my favorite Disney animated movie, the original. I love that movie. It's my absolute favorite. The fucking remake is a fucking joke. It lacks all the charm of the original. It just feels like here's the same goddamn movie in real life minus all the charm, and then we're just gonna add a few extra songs here and there just because we have to, just to make it seem a little different. And it doesn't add anything. And it's like, oh, okay, we got Will Smith. I'm like, I like Will Smith, but even he doesn't save the movie. He doesn't do shit for it. It's still movie's still awful. It is. It's soulless. It's a shame. That's why you'll never see me. I would never buy any of those live action movies because they're all garbage. All of them. Every single one of them is garbage. Disney just does it because there are gonna be those million idiots that are gonna go line up to the theater. I mean, probably more than that. 20 million idiots that are gonna go line up to the theater and go, "Oh my god, it's freaking Cinderella. Oh my god, it's freaking so and so Disney franchise that live action this, live action Lion King, live action fucking everything," and it's just, oh my god, I gotta watch it because it's Disney. It's bullshit. They played you like a fool. They played you like a fiddle. They got their money out of you, and they're like, what an idiot. That's all it is. I know this, and it's sad. I mean, when was the last time you got excited about a movie? Answer me that one. Then watch the original, because the originals still hold up. You can still watch Lion King back in the day. How long has it been? Over 20 years? And Lion King still holds up to this day. It's still an amazing visual feat. It's got character. It's got awesome voice acting. Excellent music. It still has it. Dances with Wolves. Oh, really? They actually got rid of that movie? Huh. I remember that movie. When I think of wolves, I think of White Fang. We're like talking about movies. You ever heard of Disney's White Fang? Man, this movie was good, dude. I like Disney's White Fang. 1991. This is a great movie. I really like Disney's White Fang. Showing this guy trying to raise a wolf that's been mistreated. It's like, it was really fucking good back in the day. I was like, damn. But yeah, stuff like this is just classic, man. Just like but it's wholesome. Also, it's done with practical effects. It's real life actors with a real wolf. It's all done with no CG, none of this shit. It's all just done with practicality, and it's convincing. It feels legitimate. It has soul. Whereas the 3D, it's just like, wow, it's so soulless. I guess it's amazing technology, but it lacks soul. You guys ever remember this movie? Adventures of Milo and Otis. Oh man, this movie was so cute back in the day. Oh my god, it's such a I forgot what year this came out, but oh my god, this movie was so cute. It's like a little dog and cat having an adventure together, and it was just, and then obviously they were voice acted by humans, but it was just such a cute movie. It was, oh my god, it had so much charm. If you made this in 3D, it'd fucking be garbage. Yeah, 2D animation. Yeah, good animated movies. Yeah, definitely hold up better. Yeah, like all the Disney classics hold up. Um, Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. Yeah, that was a good movie. And they made a sequel. I don't think the sequel was as good. Yeah, it's just funny how you guys are. Oh, here's a perfect example. You guys remember? Okay, okay. I ain't gonna lie. I like Toy Story. Toy Story is a good movie up to the third one. I don't care about the fourth one. I haven't even watched it yet. Toy Story had a lot of charm, had heart, had some good voice actors. It's 3D, but it's one of the few that had still had soul. I could see, but Toy Story 4 went too far with it. But I remember Toy Story before it was Toy Story. You guys ever remember this? You ever heard of this movie? Where the toys come from? This is the predecessor to Toy Story. This was the original Toy Story. This was imagine Toy Story with real life toys. Real life toys voice acted. It was such a cute, charming movie back in the day. All using practical effects with actual toys. Like it was just like, wow, this is so cool. This I watched it recently, about a couple months ago, at work. Actually, no, earlier in the year I watched it at work, and I was just like, man, this is back in 1990, and it's just like, holy shit. And again, you don't get that kind of effect anymore with just practical effects. It looks believable. It looks, I feel like we lose a lot of the magic when we go to 3D. You lose a ton of the magic unless it's done right. It's really hard to maintain that charm with 3D. It just doesn't hit home the same way. And it's kind of sad. That's why a lot of 3D movies are forgettable because they like you said, they lack soul. That's why older movies just are usually better. There's times when me and my friends we just watch older movies, that stuff we never watched, and realize that, oh man, like these movies are actually still hold up really well. Like holy crap, like they're old, but they're actually interesting to watch. They're engaging. They have good character development. There's a lot of good voice, a lot of good acting. The effects are practical but look believable. Yeah, there's just a lot of movies nowadays that doesn't have any of that shit. Most movies nowadays are complete trash. That's the truth, man. What's up, Sir Hawk? How you doing? We're talking about movies and how the movie industry has just been utter shit. Like we were talking about video games, how we're kind of in the dark age of gaming, and movies are I think worse than the video game industry, to be honest. I think the movies have been the most utterly boring they've ever been. Movies are just garbage nowadays. There's like nothing interesting coming out with movies. It just all rehashes or just uninteresting ideas or stuff that's just been done before. And it's just a shame that we just see more of the same, just shameless cash grabs, constant remakes, constant, live action remakes. Like it's a Disney. Disney's the worst right now. I think it's the absolute worst out there right now. Disney would just constant reboots of live action old movies that we don't need remakes of because those movies were perfect as they were. We don't need to redo them again. It just shows you the lack of creativity in the industry. We've gotten so lazy and so uninspired to make anything new because of money. There's no incentive to make new stuff because of the risk. It's better to just rehash and make the same old shit, make a safe bet, and cash out than worry about your integrity and make something actually good that people actually, remember. I know. Well, of course, that's called sitting on your laurels. Disney's notorious for that shit. The only way that someone's gonna try harder is when they have to try harder. So until Disney has a reason to kick themselves in the ass, which they don't, because they make so much money because the fanboys support them because they're such a household name. They'd realize that, oh, well, our fans are going to support us no matter what we do, so it doesn't matter if we make the most boring thing or just the most uninteresting thing, they'll still watch it. And they may be disappointed, but hey, we got your money already. And don't worry, you're going to buy it again because we're going to make something else with another name, and you're going to fall for it again because you're stupid. I mean, you got to eventually just put your foot down and say, enough, man. Enough of this shit. I'm tired of it. You got to say something, because if you don't say anything, nothing's going to change. It's just going to stay the same. You got to do something. You have to say something. Or just put your foot down and just don't support it. You know how you hurt these companies? Don't give them money. That's how you hurt them. Don't give them a dime, because they can't operate without your money. If you just stop doing that, you'll hurt them. Then they have to do something. But obviously, we're asking for the impossible. That's never going to happen. It's like me with Guilty Gear. You know, do I want to buy the new Guilty Gear? Of course I do. I love Arc System Works. I do. They've been one of my favorite companies in the history of video games, of my entire video game career. I have always been adored them. But even then, they do shit that pisses me the fuck off. I'm the reason why I'm so vocal with Strive is because I care. I don't want to see the series go to shit. I don't want to see my beloved franchise become crap. I want to see this game become great. I want to fall in love with it again, like I've fallen in love with the last two games. You know, Fell in love with it when I played X the first time. Oh my god, I had the biggest orgasm. Like, I remember my friend showed it to me at Anime Expo, and I was like, what the fuck is that game? That game looks fucking amazing. Fucking played it, couldn't put the controller down because it was so good. And then XX came out, I was like, oh man, it's even better. It was like the refined Guilty Gear. I was like, oh my god, it was just like, it's the cherry on top. It even tastes even better now. And then Xrd came out, I fell in love again. And it kept getting better with each iteration. And that's what I hope Strive does. I hope Strive brings that love again back. I want to feel that again. They've done it twice to me. And, I want to feel it again. It's like, because they kept raising the bar. They kept pushing harder to do more. And that's why I respect them so much. But I feel now that they're on a high point where they've reached, like, they're getting greedy. Basically, they're getting big heads now, because they realize, oh, we're at the top of the food. We're getting on top of the food chain now. Okay, now we can rest on our laurels, and that's what I don't want. I don't want that. The minute they do that, it's like, oh wow, you guys have lost focus on your goals. You just now are worried about the money. You don't even care about the game anymore. And as a result, you're gonna get a mediocre ass game. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get a mediocre ass game that nobody wants. It's gonna die, it's gonna fade into obscurity, and the franchise is gonna fucking be dead. And I was like, yeah, thanks. That's what you get for, you know. I understand you guys sometimes have to take risks. And you never know what you're capable of unless you take risks, which I'm fine with that. I mean, I hope the risks they take pay off. I hope it goes, oh my god, this game is actually amazing. And it turns out to be a really damn good game where I'm like, oh my god, this is fighting game of the year. I want to say that. I really do. I don't want to see it fail. But if they keep doing what they're doing now, it's going to fail. I'm going to tell you that right now. That game is going to flop. Hard. It's going to flop stupid hard. And then you're just going to see Daisuke just give up on the franchise because it doesn't make money. And he's going to just keep doing what he's doing now, making DLC for DBZ, making, like mediocre ass games that with shallow gameplay because that's what, people buy. Yeah, like, you have no idea how heartbroken I would be if Guilty Gear died. I would probably be on the verge of tears. And I would probably write the most heartbroken letter to Arc System where it's I would be such a loss of words. I'd be like, wow, you have like put the nail in the coffin. Like you have just devastated me. Like how could you do this? You know? That's what they're gonna feel. And I'm sure a lot of people are gonna feel the same way. Feeling that the franchise just died because of either one, their greedy, stupid decision, or two, because they don't care about us because the new generation of fans that don't really want anything lasting or anything interesting. They just want something where they can feel good about themselves and win easy. That's who they're appealing towards, and that means they are more important than us. And no, I don't want that. Hope so too, man. Next week they're showing a new gameplay trailer for Zato and Milia. They're gonna show more gameplay footage. I don't know what day it's on, but I think it's on the 23rd. There's a convention or something, some type of gaming expo, and they're gonna be showing a new trailer for them too. And then after that, August is gonna be the next trailer, the next character reveal. If there's gonna be a character reveal every 2 months, because it's kind of weird because it makes me wonder how many trailers we're gonna get. Like 4 more, and that's it. Because we're at 10 characters right now. So the next one's gonna be 11 in August. If it's 2 months again, that'll be what, October? That's another one. Another one in December. Another one in February, and then the game comes out. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 trailers. So 14 characters. That's it? That sounds kind of small for the roster. I'm hoping I'm wrong and they actually show some doubles on some of those trailers. I hope they show, like, next trailer after that will be 2 characters, and there'll be another one, and then 2 more characters, and then hopefully some, future DLC. Like, I'm hoping they do like they did Xrd and made it where the characters are free for a week. Like, oh, we're gonna have 3 DLC launch characters you can get for free, but after that you got to pay for them. That kind of thing. Or make it where you buy the collector's edition and you get, the free season pass. Something like that. You need to create some incentive so people actually want to spend money, not just tell them, oh, you got to spend extra. Like Samurai Showdown, again, they were smart for making the season 1 pass free with if you purchased the game or pre-ordered it a week after launch, up to a week after launch. You get the season pass for free, that's a smart way to do it. That's a smart way to get people to spend $60 because you're like, oh, okay, well, you just saved me $25 from buying a season pass. That's how you should reward your customers. Well, yeah, that's true. God, I hope it's not a PS5 exclusive. Well, they said it's PS4 exclusive right now. Only PS4. I hope they don't just change their mind and say it's PS5 exclusive. I'm like, oh, God. Like, I don't want to buy a PS5 just to play that game. That's just silly. I hope they don't do that. I really hope they stick with PS4. I mean, the game runs fine on PS4. It looks fine too. You know, it doesn't need the PS5's power. It's more than capable of running on a PS4. The game runs smooth. Yeah, but it's a Sony exclusive. I think Sony's paying them to have it exclusively on their console. Also, it's a Japanese game. You have to understand Japanese are obviously not going to buy an Xbox. They're going to buy a PlayStation. Japan does not buy Xboxes. Their sales are ridiculously low. Predictions. A lot of people made a safe assumption that the next character will probably be just because it makes sense because she'll be the opposite of Ramlethal is Elfel. It would make sense. Or Elfel might not come back. Maybe Elfel's to the side and it'll just be Ramlethal. But it could be both of them. My guess is if it's Elfel, it's either going to be Elfelt, the samurai dude, which we still haven't seen. He needs to be shown, or it's going to be a Rev two, I'm sorry, XX character, like Slayer, or like somebody's proposed Slayer's kid, because Slayer is going to be retiring. I would like to see Slayer's kid in there. That would look sick. Having a hybrid Slayer character would be fucking dope. Biking can definitely be in. There's choices. Not a lot though. Johnny could be in. Um, I don't think Jam's gonna make it. Maybe she'll make it. I think she'll be next game DLC. I don't think Jam's gonna be initial roster. I want Jam too. Yeah, if Venom comes back, he's gonna be under the guise of another persona. Because if you watch the ending in Rev 2, um, basically he was gonna sacrifice himself to kill Bedman, which he didn't. So I think in a term, failed his contract. So, and the price for that is death. So you don't fulfill your contract with the guild, you're a traitor. So he didn't kill Bedman. So he let him live. And I think that voided his contract, basically made it where the guild has to kill him now. So, and they mentioned that we have to kill Venom. Like, so what they did is a workaround. They say, hey, we're not actually gonna physically kill you. We're just gonna kill your persona. Like you don't exist anymore. We've wiped you clean off the grid. So now Venom does not exist. He still lives. He's just under another persona. So I can maybe see him become another character. And we know it's Venom. It's just somebody else. He'll have a different name, different persona. That would probably be what might happen based on the story. And I'd be fine with that. I mean, Venom as a character obviously is a very unique character. It would suck to see him not come back. I hope he does come back. But based on story information, it would make sense for him not to come back. You actually didn't like this. You didn't like the story mode. I liked it better than playing a fight and having to watch like a still cutscene, like traditional Street Fighter. I don't like that. I think they did a good job for what you got, considering it was ambitious for them to make all that just for a story mode. They didn't have to do any of that. They could have just made simple text and made you have to do the traditional fight 1v1. I don't like that shit. That to me it gets old. It to me is like I don't want to play a computer controlled opponent as a fight. Like if I want to play against somebody, I'll play versus. I don't need to play a story mode to fight computer opponents. You want to play against computer opponents, go play arcade mode. That's what that's for. But in story mode, it just doesn't feel right to me. It feels lazy. So I actually liked it. I honestly, all I want to see is a Guilty Gear anime. Like, if you can give me a full blown Guilty Gear anime in Strive with those visuals and make it actually done really well, I'd be fucking ecstatic. It looked amazing watching Strive's graphics and anime style. Just an anime movie. As long as the transitions are done smooth. Because I will say, when you watch the transitions in the story mode, some of them are a little janky. I do admit that. But considering what other fighting game does that in like that style? Nobody else does it. Blaze Blue didn't do it. Blaze Blue just had you sit through a storyboard and watch still cutouts. I mean, it's all right, I guess. But to me, to actually see the models actually made to actually make a story mode, I just think that's really ambitious. It needs work, though. Don't get me wrong, Sir Hawk. It's not perfect. I'm not even gonna lie. So it needs work. I hope Strive's story mode is more improved. Yeah, I know. Guilty Gear. Yeah, Guilty Gear X had a 5 minute short anime video that was a promotional material for Guilty Gear X on Dreamcast, which I actually had. I actually had a physical copy of it. That was hype as shit watching Guilty Gear in anime form. I was like, oh my god, it's Guilty Gear the anime. I was like, oh my god, my body is ready. Like I need that. I need that hard. But hey, at least we got something with the Guilty Gear story mode. You know, Exert story mode was fun. Yeah, Blaze Blue's anime was pretty shit. Like the animations weren't very good. A lot of terrible transitions. Like you can tell they didn't spend a lot of money on that anime, which it shows. You know, and it sucks that you know Arc System works for high quality level production, and then they just hire like they put a low budget on the Blaze Blue anime, and it's just oh man, this could have looked so much better. Kind of unfortunate. I watched it. I watched the whole Blaze Blue anime, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty bad. It's not good at all. Look at that picture of Jin spinning in a circle on the ice. That looks so fucking bad. Like, holy crap, I was laughing at how bad it looked. Like, you know, when he eats that GIF image where he's just spinning around in a circle. It looks so fucking terrible.
Here comes a daredevil.
What the fuck is that? I'm trying to find it. Oh, yeah. What the fuck is that? This fucking GIF. Oh man, the top 20. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, this fucking thing. This GIF right here. You ever seen this? It's like people made a meme out of it. It's so choppy. Like, look how that shit. Like, what is that? That looks terrible. It literally looks like he's like 2 frames, and it's just him spinning in a circle. Like, it looks so bad. Like, what the fuck? That just tells you where the production value went. It's just fucking awful, man. Like, that looks so fucking bad. It's like, holy shit, man. Like, literally, it just looks like it's like 2, 3 frames of him spinning and then just zooming it in closer. on each spin. It looks so bad. Like, why are there like the frames look so terrible? Yeah, this is a meme. Yeah, you spin me, baby, right in. Yeah, it's just blaze blue, fucking looking terrible. Like even the anime intro looked for the games looked way better. Yeah, with fucking the memes. There's so many memes of Blaze Blue anime videos. Yeah, just like I said, the games look at least decent. You know, just it's just the anime looks fucking awful. Hell, there's better fan made shit of that crap than fucking the actual anime. It's just funny when you just see shit like that and you're just like, oh my god, like horrible. It looks terrible. So now you've seen it, Sir Hawk. Now you know fucking Blaze Blue, the trash anime. Well, yeah, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle and go to hell. The only good thing about Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is probably two things. One, it brings together a lot of awesome characters. So like, I'm not even going to deny seeing Under Night in Birth, Persona 4, Blaze Blue, Ruby, and like Arcana Heart. All those that's cool. Like it's nice seeing those franchises get representation. I do like that, and the music is fucking great too because a lot of those songs in all those games are really good. But as far as yeah, it's the game is just what needs to go to hell. Like visually, it looks fine too. I don't mind the sprite work; it looks beautiful still to me. I don't mind them reusing the same sprite work. That's actually fine with me. It's just the gameplay is where it fucking just is just where it went to hell. It's like, wow, what did you guys do to the game? Like everything else is fine. It's just the game that's bad. Like I was hoping for something so much more. Honestly, I didn't even want a tag game to be honest. I wanted a one-on-one fighter with just lots of represented characters from all franchises, keeping their core gameplay and making it deep and work together really well. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a shallow tag team fighter. The it feels so like it's such a departure from Blaze Blue. Like Blaze Blue should feel insulted because it's like wow, we went from trigonometry to fucking third grade math. That's what it felt like. Yeah, I hate the target system. The target combo system is garbage. I think target combos in fighting games are just bad. Like I don't mind them if they're just a tool where they're not very effective and they just kind of get you by if you just want to button mash. Let's say you don't even want to learn, that's fine. But when it's an optimal route and you incorporate it into the gameplay, that's terrible. Because you're basically saying play the game like this and it feels so unga, you know what I mean? There's no thought process. Just look at me, I'm so fucking good at this game because I fucking hit one button. Well, at least with KI, even though it has an auto combo system, you can actually do variations, and there's manuals. So I can at least respect that way more. Killer Instinct actually takes more skill to play than cross type battle. Because again, you at least have options. Cross tag battle, it's like you have A and you have B. That's your choice. There's nothing beyond that. You're forced to use the AA system. You have no choice. The game does not the game does not give you the option. to do to do something different. Blaze Blue cross tab battle. I mean, you can interrupt in cross tab battle too. There's breaks. You can tag break, which I thought was cool. I mean, you have to have a form of burst in that type of a game, or it's gonna get ruined. So the fact that it has a cross assault break, which is cool. But as far as like the game, just the general mechanics, just obviously were just a step down in so many ways. In my opinion, it ruined the game. It really did. I really think that they ruined it. You know, they made the game. I was hoping for so much more. You know, I thought Arc System Works was going to make something phenomenal, make something interesting, make something. Oh man, this is going to be deep. This is going to be the shit. And then you play it and you're just like, oh, wow, this is pretty disappointing. I mean, I knew when I saw the flags when people played it, it's like, yeah, yeah. Like, people are legitimately concerned. And I don't blame them. You know, Blaze Blue fans like, oh no. I think we made a mistake. Like a big mistake. Oh yeah, of course. The game is meant to be broken. Blaze Blue Cross Battle is a broken piece of shit. It's so broken and boring. I mean, again, look how long the game didn't last for shit. Like, it died pretty quick. DBZ has more popularity than Blaze Blue Cross Tab Battle. But even then, DBZ, a lot of people jump shit on that too. A lot of fighting games in general, people are jumping ship. I don't see a lot of interest in them anymore. Like, most fighting games, they last for like a few months and they're kind of done. Like, you don't see people talk about them anymore like they used to. There's just not a lot of hype with them anymore. They feel kind of just, again, it feels all samey. The entry bar is really low. You know, there's not much to them. There's just not a lot of interesting depth to those games. A lot of my friends that play fighting games, I mean, look at a lot of my friends that play fighting games. None of them play them anymore, and they even said they're just not fun anymore. They've lost their appeal. They're not interesting. I mean, I know some players that were tournament players that do not play them anymore, and they're tournament players. Even they see that there's something wrong. You know, it's not just me. Like, I'm not alone on this. I really believe there's something wrong with fighting games now. They've lost their appeal. Why didn't the only fighting games I play is literally 3 games I play, and 2 of them no one plays because the terrible netcode, which is unfortunate. And one of them, you know, I do like it, but also I played it so much I'm kind of tired of it. I want to play something else. I still love Guilty Gear XX. I mean Rev 2, but I am tired of it because I've played it so much. Well, that's what I mean. We need another revival. We need something to stimulate our senses again, to make us fall in love again. That's what I was saying with Strive. I wanted to reinvigorate my love with Guilty Gear again. I want to fall in love again. Where, you know, you see me, I'm spending lots of time playing it and enjoying the shit out of it. Like, I want to do that again. I haven't done that since Rev 2 3 years ago, since Tekken 7 3 years ago. No, Tekken 7 was 2018, 2 years ago. No, was it? Tekken 7 came out in 2017? Was it 2017 when Tekken 7 came out? Tekken 7 came out 2018, I thought. No, it was 2017. 3 years ago. But yeah, the last time I had a big, like, kick in the ass like that is probably 2017. That's when 2017, I felt after that, fighting games went kind of downhill. Like, we kind of stopped getting awesome games at that point. Tekken 7 and Guilty Gear Rev 2, I think, were the last 2 good fighting games that were like I mean, we of course Million Arthur is a great game. That was 2018. That was one. But after nothing else after that. There's nothing. There was nothing interesting. I felt the real stride was 2017. That was the last great stride in fighting games. After that, it just plummeted. Like the games themselves have just fell off. They're just not good anymore. They're just not fun. It's unfortunate, dude. So Million Arthur, while it's a great game, I do love it. Just the netcode is absolute shit. So why nobody plays it. I'd play Million Arthur if they had good netcode. I would. I would enjoy it too. But even then, I still feel that I still feel that Million Arthur alone's not enough. The game, while it's a great fun game, I feel like we just had one game out of the blue and that was it. There was nothing else to look forward to. So I remember when you had a lot of games to look forward to, when you said, "Oh man, look at this game, this game, this game." Like you literally had like four fighters to focus on because they were all good and they were actually all fun. But now it's not like that anymore. It's just more of the same, more of the same, and it's uninteresting. It's sad. It's really sad. It's like what's happened to fighting games. Like I said, you can see it when you just see the lackluster interest in it from a lot of people. That especially again that used to play fighting games so religiously. Now none of them do. Like a lot of my friends that stream, almost all of them don't play fighting games anymore. Almost all of them. Like there's people I used to watch stream play fighting games. They haven't played fighting games in years. The only person that still plays even look at Escaping Workforce. He's a good guy. I love him to death, and I tell him he's my friend, and I'm glad I got to meet him in real life, and I want to meet him again. We can hang out sometime. But even he said the same thing. He's kind of on a decline on video fighting games. He says he like he said he basically said I'm waiting for that next evolution. I need that, like you said, that next banger. We need something. We need something fresh. We need something interesting. We need something big. Like even Smash Brothers to me got fucking old, man. Smash Brothers got boring to me. Like I was playing Smash Brothers, like wow, this game hasn't changed. It's just more of the same. It's yeah, granted, it's the most complete edition because it has all the characters, but a lot of the characters feel like other characters. They don't feel like their own characters. Like, we got fucking seven Fire Emblem characters that all play similarly. Like, that's not, oh, one has fire on his sword, but they all do the same move almost. It's like, it just doesn't make it, oh, because Lucina has like 1 inch shorter reach than Marth. That's not enough to me. That sounds so blasé. Like, that's not interesting. Like, unless you're into metrics. Smash Brothers got boring for me. I like even all my friends that used to play it don't play it anymore. They all got tired of it. Like I remember when we played Smash, the new one, we played it for like 30 minutes and we were done with it. We literally turned it off after the. We had more fun playing Jack Party Box, and we played that for like an hour, and we would have continued playing that if we could. But yeah, we played Smash and we were kind of just done with it. You can tell like the interest wasn't there. I felt like it's nothing interesting anymore. That it's been there, done that. It's old news. Like it was fun back when it was Melee. Melee was the pinnacle. Everybody had the most fun on Melee. Like played it religiously on Melee. Brawl was kind of probably one of the worst ones in the series. I couldn't stand how slow it was. Wii U felt like a faster brawl, and then the new one just feels like an updated Wii U version. It hadn't changed at all. Just they felt like slight iteration changes where it's just not. It's not really a new game. It's just the same game again. That's all it feels like. It just feels like more of the same. You don't change anything. You're just adding characters, returning old stages, same assists, same moves, same logic, same modes. It's just the same game. You've played it before. It's like Halo. Halo was cool like the first two, three games, and now Halo's like, hey, it's Halo again. What does Halo do differently? Nothing really. Just Halo. It's just Halo. Yeah, exactly. Smash Ultimate could have just been a Wii U update. But nope, they wanted to pitch it as a brand new game. And it really wasn't. That's why, I played Smash Ultimate for 6 hours, I believe, on my game time. And I got tired of it after 6 hours. I was not even having fun. Like, wow, game's boring. Like, that's like what happened? Like, I used to love Smash Brothers. Now I don't even care about it. And it's not, and again, it's not just me. Other people feel the same way. They feel like it's just the life got sucked out of it. Tekken is still good. I mean, I'm glad that with each iteration they kept changing it, which they need to, because you need to build on mechanics and build on the game, make it more interesting. Not de-evolve it. Tekken's always got evolved every game. When they introduced supers, I'm like, oh shit, it's got supers now. Armor moves. I'm like, oh shit. Like, new mechanics. I'm like, that's cool. Like, that's the right way to do it. Oh shit, they put a Street Fighter character that actually works really well. That's the smart way to do it. You build on the game. But with Smash Brothers, they didn't do any of that. They just fine tuned the existing gameplay to quote unquote perfection. Hey, that's nice. Well, I played this before, and it's nothing new. It really isn't. Yeah, but that's how it feels with a lot of stuff, unfortunately, as you get older. I think it has to do with age too. Our experiences. We want a new experience. I think that's the problem now. We don't get as many new experiences. That's why we're probably so bored all the time because there's nothing interesting. There's nothing interesting or stimulating now in things because it's all the same. It's all the same old, same old. Been there, done that, seen it a million times. It's old. It's kind of sad. That's why a lot of people say, it's the dark age of gaming because I think almost like we've reached a ceiling and no one wants to break the ceiling. Everybody just comfortable with just being below the ceiling. Like, oh, well, we reached the ceiling. That's good enough for us. That's as far as we're going to go. Not really trying to achieve anything greater. The only thing they focus on is graphics. They don't care about gameplay improvements. They don't care about actually trying to create something new, or going in a different direction that actually opens up a whole new world of opportunities. No, let's just make it look better because that's all we can do. And that's what PS5 and Xbox look like. It's just it looks a little better, but it's ultimately the same games. So why am I going to spend $500 just on better looking games that I play now? Welcome back, Sirok. Yeah, ultimately it's just graphics. Age of games now is all about graphics. It's all it's about. Nothing more. because you know you got to stimulate people to play a game by looks. No different than a girl. You know, when you look at a girl, what's the first thing you notice? Her body, her physical attributes. That's what attracts you. It's no different than video games. Oh, it looks pretty, must be good. When you know that's not true. Yeah, I actually like to get my senses overloaded with games where you just you throw so much at me. It's like almost like a buffet. You give me tasting all this delicious food, and I just want to. And there's just so much, and it's just it tantalizes your taste buds, and you want to take it all in. That's the kind of experience real gamers want. They want something where they can just take it all in, and there's so much to take in, and it stimulates your mind. Where you're just like, damn, look at all this cool shit. That's what you want. But ultimately, we don't get that. We just get, again, rehashes of the same shit, playing it safe, or making something really simple because people don't want to use their brain, more than they have to. I don't mind using my brain. I actually don't mind that at all. I'm actually totally fine with it. I don't mind a game being hard. It's unfortunate. Sorry, 6:30. I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. I'm fucking tired. I'm just talking for a bit before I go to sleep. I'll do my walk when I get up. I gotta get up. I'm probably gonna get up around 2 o'clock and go run my errands, and then go do my walk afterwards, and then stream. Probably gonna stream Persona for the rest of the night. I mean, the rest of the night. When I get back. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's what games have come down to. It's probably why, again, people are probably not playing as much video games because there's no real inspiration to do so. The lack of interest. I mean, well, obviously, we're never going to be at video game interest like we were in the 90s, in the 80s, Obviously, my video game interests, I think, were at top peak probably around Super Nintendo. That was probably when video games were at the absolute peak that they ever been. And then they slowly started to go downhill. PlayStation held up a little bit. PlayStation 2 was less. PS3 definitely started to decline. And PS4 is the lowest it's ever been. So yeah, it's been a downward slope. Just slowly becoming less interesting. Getting harder to find games that are actually good and actually you want to play. There's way too many games. Hey, Bubba. Oh, I kicked that. Third. Sorry about that. Oh, my dad. But yeah, it's kind of sad that as much in this, the games have been the most numerous they've been in a long time. We have so many video games, like unbelievable amount of video games. And then it's sad that there's things you just don't want to play. It's kind of sad. Sometimes too much is bad too. Honestly, I had more fun when things were too little because it was new. There wasn't much of it, so you had to savor those moments. That's why anime was so great back in the day, back in the '90s. When they had Blockbuster Video, you didn't have a lot of choices. So, and anime was such a new thing at the time. It was so obscure to see something like that. So, and that obscurity made it attractive. But now it just, anime is a dime a dozen now. It's like, holy crap, there's so much of it. So you have to sift through all the shit to get to the good stuff. Last anime I watched was what, Interspecies Reviewers, which is a gem. And the one before that was Castlevania. Probably the one before that is Little Witch Academia. I watched, yeah, I don't watch a lot of anime anymore. I used to watch tons of anime. I used to be on point with anime. God, I would watch like a series like every other week. I'd go rent to the store and go rent a whole series of movies, for a franchise. Just sit down and watch and binge the shit out of it. And now it's like, meh. Now I look at anime, I'm like, I guess I'll watch it whenever I feel like I'm bored. It's kind of sad. You don't really feel a need. Because it's just, again, there's so much of it, because so much of it is the same. It's either harem anime, what is it? Let's see, what mech anime, um, slice of life anime, um, what else? Mostly harem. Harem's obviously the most prominent. There's so much goddamn harem anime. Oh yeah, Isekai, that's another one. Well, yeah, harem anime is ridiculous how many harem animes there are. I liked harem animes when there weren't so many. Back when it was, Ramna, Love Hina, back when it was actually good. And now it's just like, eh.
There you go. Fabric softener.
Okay, let me write this down.
I mean, pick out the cheapest one,
Okay.
I don't need, but I just used up the end of it.
Okay.
But this is their brand.
Okay.
This is,
Okay. I get it. Fabric softener. Okay. Just writing down a list for the store today. I gotta go to the store. Pick up some stuff. Yeah. Well, no, I think Ramna was the one that really initially, but Tenchi Muyo definitely broke in pretty hard. And I watched the shit out of Tenchi Muyo. I got sick of it after a while, though. Tenchi was good up until Tenchi in Tokyo. I couldn't stand Tenchi in Tokyo. Galaxy Police, I didn't give a shit about. I heard the new one like they made recently. I wanted to watch it just because it has all the OG voice actors, which I do like that shit because it's like, oh man, I love the OG English voice actors for Tenchi. I was like, oh man, that has a place in my heart. But yeah, just I will say the initial OAV Tenchi the movie Tenchi universe were all good, but when it got to Tenchi in Tokyo, I was like, eh. Didn't really care, but that second movie was god awful. And the third movie wasn't that great either. The first movie's epic. I love the first movie. So good. Tenchi Muyo in Love. Yeah, Tenchi Muyo in Love was fucking amazing ass movie. Loved it. That's what got me into the franchise too. When I first saw it, I was like, and then I saw Tenchi Universe, and then I watched the original OAVs. And I even watched the offshoot. I watched Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, which was hilarious. Like offshoot with her being a magical schoolgirl. Really funny and cute. But it's just one of those things is like, oh man, I used to watch that shit. Yeah. Also, they had English soundtracks for those shows. I mean, I like anime girls too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, dude. I mean, if you saw my room, my whole room is just full of anime girls. I have tons of anime girl figures. I collect them. And I gotta lie. I mean, I like good-looking girls. I mean, I like girls' bodies. I mean, that's a thing. It's just a thing that guys have a fetish with. I like looking at a girl's body. And anime girls, I think, are cute and they have nice bodies. So if I see a character I like, I collect a figure of her just because I like the way she looks. But sometimes it's the character. I do like the character's endearing, and I actually like the character, and I get a figure of it just because I like the character. I like the show. It's surprising I don't have a Little Witch Academia figure of Akko or Susie. I don't even know if they made those. I'd buy a Castlevania figure, that's for sure. I would definitely buy interspecies reviewers figures if those existed. Hell yeah. I would buy those in a heartbeat, but they don't exist, unfortunately. And if they do make one, it's probably going to be hella expensive. I'm like, yeah, never mind. It's like a $30, $40 figure, sure. If it's like $200, forget it. I'd rather have the money. Like, I'll be honest, like that's honestly what I do nowadays with anime figures. I buy them cheap, and then I hold on to them for a long time. Wait for the value of them to spike up insane value, and I just sell them. And I use those figures to buy other figures I want. I don't grow attached to anything I own, so I'm always cycling my anime figures. The only ones I don't sell if they're just cheap and they have no value. Then I'll just keep them because I don't care about them. So it's worth $20. It's still worth $20 20 years later. Whatever. Like I just bought actually speaking of anime figures, like look what I bought recently. I found a guy on eBay and he was selling really cheap anime figures. Like they're open box, like they've been taken out. Yeah, he sold me all these anime figures. Look how cheap I bought them for. I don't know if you guys remember these. Like, they have no value. Like, nobody wants these things. I was just surprised that nobody wants any of these. Like, what the fuck? $3. Because these are big. Like, I used to love Naru and Motoko. And, I had these when I was younger, when they were actually expensive, and nobody wants these things. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy them. They have no value. I don't care. I like the characters. I love the show. I have the whole DVD collection. So I've been going around just buying old figures of franchises, of characters I like, for cheap prices. And Japan, it's like this, apparently. A lot of people that just sell their figures and they sell them cheap. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with them. They're just opened. Or they're in fairly good condition. I'm like, I'll buy it for a couple bucks, sure. I can put it on display. Sure. That's for me. So I've been buying all these. I bought like 9 figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures for $90 from Japan. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Considering I know what these figures go for. New. Like if I bought the Love Hina figures, these go for a minimum like $20-$30 a piece. Minimum. So I'm getting them for like $20 for both. That's really cheap. So yeah, that's one thing. If I ever go to Japan, I'm going to buy a ton of figures. I'm gonna spend like $100 on figures when I go to Japan, and just order a bunch of figures I want. Because there's so much open box merchandise of figures over there, and they're so cheap. Because in Japan, like, they care about perfection. Like, if the figure is in box mint condition, they don't want it. So I'll take imperfections. I don't care. To me, it's like I just want to have them. I don't care if they're open because I put them on display. I don't give a shit. They're not worth anything, so sure. But the ones I do buy in box, I keep them sealed and I don't sell them, and I let them sit on a while until they get huge in price, and then I sell them. You know, once they hit like hundreds of dollars, I consider selling them just to be like, sure, I don't want it. I don't care about it anymore. Or I have the money. You know, like my Guilty Gear figures. I mean, like the Guilty Gear Xrd figures. You know, Jacko. You know, like I have this one, and it's already over $300 fucking. I bought this for $100 in December of last year. It's already went up to $300. So the fact that it's getting rare and it's becoming expensive, I'm like, if this hits up to like 400 or 500, I'm probably gonna get rid of her because I'd rather have the money. So to me, it's like, man, I'm just sitting on potential. I could sell this one and my Jam figure. Jam's also like $280. Jam, I'm selling this Jam. Yeah, Jam is 200 and now $280 for a used one. New goes for like 300 plus. Consider because of shipping. But yeah, it's just like, damn, like these figures are going to be worth a lot of money the more you sit on them. It's a fun hobby. I enjoy doing it. Like I said, right now, my most valuable figures are my Guilty Gear figures. I have Jam, Jacko, and Elfelt. I have this one too. This one, nobody wants this one. It's a nice figure though. I bought it for like I bought it for I think $50 new, and it's stayed at that value. Nobody wants this. Like honestly, I mean the only reason I sell it is because I have the other one. But if I got rid of the other one, I'd just keep this one because I know it's not worth anything. This is from Guilty Gear X, but it's a nice figure. It's resin. The only thing I don't like about resin is it breaks easy. If you drop it, it's gonna break. Whereas the newer figures are made with like PVC and shit, which I prefer that material because it doesn't break as easy. But again, I might. It's probably never gonna sell. I've been having this listed for a year and nobody wants it. And it's like people look at it, nobody wants it though because everybody wants the other one, which I don't blame them because the other one looks way better. Her Zerd iteration looks way better than her X iteration. Yeah, but I got a lot of figures like that. I also have Bridget. Bridget's worth like Bridget's worth like I think 170. Yeah, this one 165. It's the cheapest. Last one sold last year. This guy's been sitting on it for like almost a year or two. But I bought one for I think $80 from Japan. Ami had one for like $60 with $20 shipping. I snagged it because I was like, I'm never gonna see it for that price ever again. So I said I better grab it. So I know at least I know it's worth double my money. So, but if this blew up to like, I bet you one thing: if Bridget makes it into Guilty Gear Strive, this figure is gonna spike up in price. I'm gonna promise you that. If Bridget makes the new Guilty Gear, I promise you this figure is going to get expensive because she's in the game. Because he's in the game. Because everybody's gonna be like, "Holy shit, Bridget!" and then they're gonna be like spending money on merchandise for her, for him. Yeah, I love Bridget, man. Bridget's awesome. Bridget's like one of the coolest characters. I really like the design. Love the move set. Love the tools that he uses. It's like a really interesting character. I know it's a boy, but it's like I actually thought it was kind of also the charm about the character because he's a trap, and then you realize that you read his backstory and stuff like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like you actually kind of you start to like the character. So, I mean, I didn't mind that he's a guy. You know, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I still bought it. So, yeah, I bought mine from Anime. Like I said, I'm only gonna sell it if it gets really expensive. I said I'm sitting on these for rainy days, so potentially I have probably about $1,000 worth of Guilty Gear figures in my room, just in the 4 Guilty Gear figures. Because I have Elfelt too. Elfelt's the least expensive. She was reproduced. That's the problem. They reproduced this figure, this variant, so it's not worth as much as it used to be. It was up to 300 until they reproduced it. Now there's a lot of them around, so now the price is. I paid 125 for it, so I'm not gonna sell it for 150. It's not worth it. I'll keep it. It's a nice figure though. It looks beautiful. You know, I gotta say it's awesome looking figure. It's big too. Like I don't take it out of this one's in the box. I have one sealed in the box. I'm never gonna take her out of the box. So, but I'm just sitting on her right now to see if she gets expensive. And if she gets to like 300-400 bucks, I might sell her. Just because, you know, I don't need it. I don't really need it. It's one of those things of I don't need it. I'd rather have the money. Because at least I can use the money to buy other things I want. That's how I kind of how I perpetuate my hobby. I'm always selling stuff to buy the stuff I want. And then eventually, you know, I get tired of it. It's like my amiibos. I stopped collecting those because I got tired of Smash Brothers. I'm selling all my amiibos. I've probably made, I would say in my amiibo collection, I've probably made at least, I would say $800 already in selling amiibos. And I still have another like $300-400 worth of amiibos left to sell. And I need to list them as individual sales because they're not selling as groups. And I have some expensive ones too. They're like 50 bucks. So again, gonna get rid of them. I don't care about them. They have no value to me. I'd rather have the money and use it to buy things I want. And so, yeah, that's my most expensive figures and my Toho figures. I got a lot of Toho. My Toho collection is huge. I think I'm sitting on like 16 Toho figures. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15? Yep. 15 Toho figures. 11 are in the box, sealed. 4 are on display because I bought them cheap. I don't think Toho figures will ever be worth a lot of money, to be honest. They're kind of a niche thing. Only a few are actually kind of expensive. One of these days, I'm gonna show you guys my updated anime room. So once I get my new setup going, I'm gonna clean up my room, and I'm gonna show you guys my updated anime room with all my figures. Because I'm getting rid of one of my monitors. I'm getting rid of my sound system. I got new figures. I got those 9 figures coming in the mail. I'm gonna put all those on display. But yeah, I got so much crap. Like, so much. I got so much shit I need to sell that I need to turn around and make money on. I'm probably sitting on at least, I would say at least $1,500 worth of shit I need to sell. At least that much. And $1,500 can buy a lot of anime figures and a lot of other stuff. So, but I think from now on, I'm just gonna like buy cheap figures. Like, I prefer open box figures just because they're so much cheaper to pay for, and I can buy a lot of them. The only bad thing about buying cheap figures is they don't maintain their value because nobody wants used figures unless they're rare. Most people don't give two shits about used figures. Like, they have no value. That's the only reason why I kind of don't like collecting them, because at a rainy day, they're not going to be worth anything. They're just strictly for show. But alright, it's already 6:52. I gotta get to sleep, guys. It's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta get to bed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll probably be on in the evening, probably around 7 or so, because I gotta get up in the morning. Gotta go to the market. I gotta go to my mom's house, pick up some packages. I gotta go to get my car washed, and I need to go to recycle my cans, make from to the market. So it's basically a 2-for-1. Then I'll be back home after that. I'll probably be on like around 7. I'll probably be back home hopefully I'm hoping to get back by 5. Then I'll probably do my walk when I get home, and then after that I'll probably stream. So, but yeah, I'll stream in the night. It's actually been really cold lately. Like, the weather's been really cold this week, so I could have been streaming during the day, but my sleep schedule's so screwed up right now. So, anywho's, thanks for watching, guys. Ho ho, Evangster, Sir Hawk, whoever else is here. Thanks for watching. So when I get back on, we'll probably be streaming more Persona. I don't think I'm going to play anything else, to be honest. I don't have anything else right now. Nothing until the end of the month. I mean, I know there's some new games I want to buy, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. I was thinking of buying some of those EA games. There's a couple in here I haven't played yet I should like to play. But I don't know if they're any good. He still hasn't released this shit. Oh man. When is this going to be released? I've been waiting for this game to be released for a while, and I guess the guy stopped working on the DLC apparently. He's been stuck on 4 for a long ass time. Anywho's. Alright, guys. Well, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good one. Take care. Peace out.